Hey Kevin, this is for Tuesday, April 9th. This is the S&P, and I didn't really need to start with that. Lean hogs, you can take a look at that newsletter. Nothing new really to report there. Same with feeder cattle above long-term support. We have the live cattle spread, of course. This looks pretty good in our favor. Broader market rally seems to mean a weakness in this spread, a narrowing of the spread. So that's great that we settled below this low settlement of 2.90 yesterday. And so there's a 50% retracement from this low to this high at 2.475. It is somewhere in here. Let's see, that would be right about there. That's a channel. Let's see here. That could be tested today. Can contain weekly selling pressures, but if we settle below it, then the targeted 1825 is expected, say, by the end of next week, where this spread can bottom out into June expiration. Closing above, of course, 347.5 does indicate a good low through April. Then expecting the mid 4, possibly the mid 5 by contract expiration for June. We're long the August live cattle, and we got a nice settlement today above this formation, higher settlement than Friday's close. That's pretty good. So this looks good. Obviously, we don't really have certainty here, but holding above 117.05, this is a long position to stay in. And I think if we break, I think that 116.50 stop is a good one tomorrow. And that will be that. There's nothing really else to add. Holding above this, we can get into the 120 handle again over the next week, 2 or 3. Let's talk ethanol, RBOB, crude oil, all this stuff. I'll show you the crude here. God dang it. Here we go with this crap again. Come on, channel. You can see this on the newsletter itself. I'm kind of repeating myself here. This is it. This formation we settled above yesterday at 63.81. So we should see 68 even now by the end of next week, possibly over the next 3 to 5 days. And so, I'm glad we got out of that put. That was a good thing to do on Friday, given this outside day settlement above everything else. And also, more critically, above that long-term set of channel formations in the 62 handle on page 2 of the newsletter. So just kind of watching this one right now. I'd like to be long, but I don't like chasing it either. So May corn, no real change here. We've got this structure still expecting the upper 340s, below 365 and a quarter. Bean meal, soybeans, same thing really. You've got resistance here. God dang it. Come on. 907 half. That would be a buy signal. Until then, this market can continue south into later April. And wheat, we've got this, you can look at the newsletter, I think, on this one. This is all pretty straightforward. We still have this long-term channel at 495 half all the way up to 507 half, 12-cent range of resistance. You can see at page 2 on the wheat newsletter that can absorb buying through spring all the way up to 507 half. But if we close the week above 507 half, and I don't see that happening this week, but if we did, the market should maintain a bullish dynamic into summer trade. Then expecting the low $6 area within 3 to 5 months. Until then, holding below both of these lines does allow yet another test of that 431 half long-term support level. So at this point in time, I would rather sell anywhere from 495 half to 507 half, or buy the 431 half to the downside. We're kind of smack dab in the middle of all that. I'm not even going to go in the S&P. We're in the midst of a long-term buy signal. And so let's take a look at the Canadian. What did it do today? Nice buy signal. I hate this thing here. Nice buy signal in this. This is consistent with the crude rally. So, this is a long position, I think. I don't think we're going to see anything like this. I could be wrong because then we are looking for the upper 76 handle. Excuse me. I had to yawn. Um, but we can get into kind of a, we could do this. We could tap out here for a few days, then, here for a week or two, on and on and on. You got little levels all the way up. This could be a good, buy 70, 77 calls, 76 calls, whatever the case might be. But this looks good. Certainly well above these formations than what occurred about a week ago. Take a quick look at the euro currency just to see what's going on here. And recovered a bit, but still smack dab in the middle of no man's land for us. Japanese yen recovered. British pound. I'm going to take a look at that US dollar, seeing how this is 29.35 all week long. If we test it, it is a base of support into May trade, above which you got all kinds of stuff here. Holding above that, we're still looking for the 138 area. US dollar kind of slipping back, but there's nothing to do in here. So we'll keep watching this. As we get down here, we'll talk about possibility of buying it. Gold. Come on. There it is. All right. We came not too far from testing this channel formation. The next sell signal would be a settlement below this 1288.3, 87.5 rather. Or we could consider selling this. But you've got, I don't know, it's kind of a tough one. You've just got these little stabs, If we close above 13.5, then I think we're off to the upside again into the upper 1300 area. But until then, the market still can test 1260 over the coming weeks. But I am glad we got out. I'm going to jump right to the 10-year here. Same old, same old. There's your support. We will probably test it this week. And NASDAQ, what did it do? Yeah, got a low of 61 and a quarter and rallied. So that looks good. We are above all this. Still looking for this upper area in the 8100 region, say by the end of May, perhaps. And sugar, nothing. Cocoa, continued follow through from last week's buy signal. Coffee, going to see some cotton here right away. Cotton is getting close to testing this area, so we'll keep an eye on that, right? We close above it on Friday. It looks pretty dang good. But until then, this is our ceiling. Worth acquiring maybe when we get up there an 80 or a 78 put. I don't have any idea how they're priced or what the risks are, but maybe we could look at some cotton puts. Once again, we'll look at coffee just to see. Nothing going on. All right. Let's jump into some of these spreads. Corn spreads. I'm just going to, this is the July D's. Come on. All right. So we have support here. Negative 21.0. We could buy this or wait for a settlement below and sell it. We can talk about this tomorrow if you like. This is a pretty significant spread. And we're in the midst of testing support. We spiked, and now we're right back at it. That's typically not a very good sign, I would think. So I'm more inclined, 21.1, to await a potential settlement below, or looking at the same exact spread, we buy this settlement above 17.2. Okay, that would be my thinking, unless you want to bottom pick this for one reason or another. All right, there's July Dece. Dece March, not much to do here. That looks too much like a 5-minute bar chart. Well, I don't get it. I mean, obviously some of these spreads are much more fluid than others. This is nothing more than a trend line. This is the actual channel top up here. I don't see, well, let's see here. Dece March. There it is. There's your longer term support, negative 16.2. I don't know. Dece. Very close to testing the support area, 27.3. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. And then finally May, July, which is the current one, the lead one. This is your big resistance up here. I don't know if we're going to test it, but we certainly may. If I do one of these, so weird how this chart looks. Is it wrong? It's weird. So this is day by day. Yeah, it just looks like a 5-minute bar chart. It's the weirdest thing. So we have a buy signal at the end of Monday, above negative 8.4. What does it mean? I think you got a shot for this. So if 2 cents is worth it, I mean, we have to put that sucker on like, I don't know, 20 times. Obviously, the closer the months, the tighter the relationship. Is that what I'm gathering here? May, July, Dece, Dece March. This is the most popular one. Sorry, this July Dece for corn. So we can talk July Dece if you like. Let's move on to wheat. This formation held. This is the big resistance. And this is May, July. So I'm going to create another thing here. If we're interested in selling this, we tested resistance. We could look at, you have a key reversal high here. So closing below negative 5.1 should maintain a heavy dynamic into later April. What is the target? Got a settlement below that. I'd say, yeah, somewhere in here, down in this low area. So that's negative 10. Okay. All right, that's May, July. July Dece. Oh, we settled below that today. We do have a sell signal in the July Dece. I don't know why I have the number 10 here. Oh, because I hit a 0 instead of a 9. Okay. This is a target now. You also have this. Yeah, this is a target. I wouldn't be opposed to going short the July Dece corn spread. I'm sorry, this is wheat. The July Dece wheat spread. And there's Dece March. Nothing to do right now, but I do like this July Dece wheat. So what is it, July Dees corn is the opportunity, and July Dees wheat. Those two. All right, beans. We have a bit of a sell signal here. And this is Nov Jan. Okay, let me back out of here. Just July Nov. All right. You have a resistance here at 18.2 negative, and you know, negative 5.6. That's the big one. There's not much going on here with this July Nov right now. If we settle below this, you know, we're looking for this, perhaps. Until then, it's consolidation for the July Nov. Next buy signal really above 18.2, and then only for a few days after 15.6, which is the big resistance. So negative 15.6 ceiling, negative 22.1 floor, and settlement outside that indicates directional dynamic into later spring, I'd say, or into May anyway. Live cattle spreads. Okay. This is all current. Still expecting this down here. This is the Dees Feb. All right. Good channel bottom to buy into. This is the AK Dees. Like I was saying, there's not much in the way of definable support, but you do have resistance in this area. So this would be a good region to sell into, below which this spread remains heavy. This is the AUG AK. There's a support level. I revised long term to this though, but this is respectable in its own right, negative 1250. Down to negative 1825 if settled below. You have to close above negative 0.125 to turn this market north into later April and May. Junog, live cattle, Junog. We're quite familiar with this one. And lean hogs. Yeah, this is it. We came close to testing this speed line last week, and now I do believe this speed line is likely. Got negative 360, which corresponds to a lot of these old highs. So that's an area to buy, perhaps. But if we close below it, just expect a continued collapse, at least this low, probably lower. Inversely, if we settle above this 725, you should expect at least this 212 half area a high within, I don't know, weeks. I don't know why I have bean meal spreads in here, but I'll take a quick look. Yeah, this is what the chart looks like for the lead contract, you know, the May contract. Not much really to do here. So, where does that leave us? I'll probably throw some numbers, you know, just some markets to watch closely, and we can talk in the morning. I am running to Gunnison. I have to be in Gunnison tomorrow at 9:45, which means I have to leave by 9 o'clock, which is plenty of time. If we want to get on the phone at 8 o'clock and gab and share screen, we can do that. Otherwise, that's all I'm going to say for Tuesday's video.